Ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely bewildered this evening. I'm in a state of disbelief because I've just read a post on the official Marvel Contest of Champions forums by somebody that works for Kabam that didn't make me immediately reach for my hand and kind of deeply plant my face inside it. In fact, I had the exact opposite reaction. I'm actually excited, really excited. I feel like they friggin' nailed this announcement, and that is the announcement of Act 5 Chapter 4, one of the two big things that was coming up, Cyber Monday and Black Friday, which was an absolute shit fiesta. Like, they fucked that up royally. But Act 5 Chapter 4, I think they fucking nailed it, lads. It looks like there's some amazing stuff coming. But I think the first thing we're going to talk about is the rewards. The rewards, the hype, the pinnacle of this. There is so much stuff. It's ridiculous. So essentially, there's a variety of rewards for you. You've got the completing Quest 1 to 6 for exploring, for completing Chapter 4 for exploring Chapter 4, and then for completing Act 5 and exploring Act 5. And it's just insane. It's a little bit more than I expected, man. I really had very low expectations for Act 5 Chapter 4, but for completing Quest 1 to 6 of Chapter 4, you get 60,000 Tier 4 basic Catalyst fragments, along with 1,750 5-star crystal shards. So this is just for the quest completion on an individual basis, all added up. And then the exploring is 120,000 Tier 4 basic Catalyst fragments, along with 3,250 5-star crystal shards, and then also half of a fully formed Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst. So that's really awesome. And then for completing Chapter 4, so this is the stuff that accompanies the quest as well. It's 5,000 5-star crystal shards, a Tier 4 basic, a Tier 4 class catalyst at the second half of the T2 Alpha. Awesome stuff. And for the exploration, 10,000 5-star crystal shards, 1 5-star basic crystal, 10 generic 5-star signature stones, and 1 5-star awakening gem crystal, which is a random one, you know, one of the 6 random. So another science or cosmic for me. Super excited about that. But for completing Act 5, so again, it's the end of the chapter, so we get the roundup rewards here. You get 6 Tier 4 class catalyst crystals, 5 Tier 2 alpha catalysts, 2,600 6-star crystal shards, 1 5-star fully formed basic crystal, 20 5-star generic signature stones. So the rewards for that are insane. And then for exploring all of it, you get 2 Tier 5 basic catalysts. So finally, you're going to be able to bring a 5-star champion up to rank 5, which is just incredible. Level 65 champion's going to make those labyrinth runs if you got the Stark Enhanced Spider-Man, or a Blade, or a really amazing gold tier champion that you want to bring up there. I reckon you're going to have a very much easier time doing 100% Labyrinth of Legends. And also 2,500 6-star crystal shards. I feel like I forgot to put the emphasis on the 6-star crystal shards in the previous one. A generic 5-star awakening gem as well, and also 1 5-star rank 3 to rank 4 rank up gem crystal, so essentially another rank 4 character for everyone. But it might, I don't know, that one's a little bit like, oh, I would have much preferred the T2 alphas so I could choose which class I rank up. But hey, like, I'm gonna enjoy taking some sort of random science champion up to rank 4 for sure. And then finally, the Elder's Bane title. So to kind of recap and headline some of those rewards, we get 2 5-star awakening gems. One of them is going to be generic, can use on whatever character you want. One of them is going to be random. We get 6 Tier 2 Alpha Catalysts, so that's going to be enough to take any single 5-star champion from rank 4 to rank 5. Or you could potentially, you know, if you've already got 2, probably, you know, take 2 champions up to rank 4 if you wanted to, but I imagine most people are going to go for the 1 champion at rank 5 there, just to have that crazy buff champion. So you get the equivalent of 2 fully formed 5-star crystals, and also via all of the shards here, you get 20,000 5-star shards. So that's absolutely amazing stuff there. A big old stack of generic 5-star signature stones, and yeah, just an absolute ton of Tier 4 class catalyst, and also a ton of T4 basic catalyst. So there's just so much stuff there. It's like the mother load of stuff, and on top of that, you also get 6,000 6-star crystal shards, which is, you know, a nice chunk for when those 6-star crystals come out. That's going to be, I assume, half of the fully formed one. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I'm very excited about these rewards. These are kind of the rewards that we were expecting actually maybe a little bit more than what I was expecting, but I'm very, very happy with them regardless. I think they've definitely, you know, met the expectation there, so I'm super, super excited about that. But as well as that, we are going to have the most insane Legends event that I believe we've ever had, because the bar is so high for the Legends run. So I believe the Act 5.4 is going to go live on the 13th of December, so that's not next Wednesday. I think next Wednesday is going to be the MODOK event, or the Christmas one, or whatever it's going to turn out to be. And then the Wednesday after that, December 13th, is when it goes live. And I'm going to say this now, I will not be going for a Legends run, because I know a lot of the other YouTubers are. I'm going to bite the bullet, I'm going to do it fresh out the gate, because if you're doing it fresh out the gate, you're not going to be able to get a Legends run. Like, I'm just going to, like, put that down. It's going to be so competitive that I'm going to bite the bullet, sacrifice the Legends run, which, you know, I wasn't too fussed about doing anyway. But these rewards, man, they tempt me into doing it, so that all the information can be out there on YouTube, the live streams, you can go through and make up maps and stuff. So yeah, on the very first day, I'm going to attempt to push as far as I possibly can to doing 100%, and within like 48 hours of this going live, I aim to have done 100% of Act 5.4, so that's my little goal there. But for the top 100 on the Legends, you get 2x Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst, and also a 4-star Thanos, which is just absolutely incredible there. People are going to be going crazy over those Tier 2 Alphas. But in addition to that, the top 5, and this is where it gets insane, the top 5, you get 1 fully formed Tier 5 basic Catalyst and a 5-star Kang. So yeah, that's just going to be ridiculous. Like, people are going to go absolutely crazy competing for that top 5. And if there is server maintenance at any point during December 13th and January 31st, if people if the servers come down while people are doing this Legends run, they are going to be pissed, man. They're going to be so annoyed. So Kabam, you've set yourselves up there. If you don't let the servers drop. Don't let the servers drop, or else you're going to have like boycott 3.0 on your hands. Sorry, 2.0 on your hands for sure. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Those Legends rewards, absolutely insane. So many people are going to go ham for those. But anyway, yeah, so it's all based on the entirety of Act 5. So you need to make sure if you want to compete for a Legends run, you're going to have like Act, 1, 2, and 3 already done. And there's a little bit of a Q&A section explaining about how Legends works. So now we're going to talk a bit about what's actually going to happen in 5.4. What some of the nodes, what some of the challenges. So the first thing is they're locking the camera, like in the Labyrinth of Legends, which I think that the whole camera locking thing, I am actually not a huge fan of this, and it's for a very well, the essential reason is that, okay, like, it's a bit of a challenge for the first week or so. Like myself, I'm going to be going in blind, I'm going to be guessing, like, what's everywhere. But, like, after that initial week, then you should disable camera locking, because then, like, after that, everybody's just going to make a map, and then it just becomes a case of the locking camera. The only function it serves is that people are just tabbing in and out of the game to look at a map. Like, that's the only function it serves in Labyrinth of Legends. I remember, like, after every fight in Labyrinth, I was like, okay, well, you know, I fought this boss, now let's, you know, tab away and look at a map where to go. It takes people out of the game. I don't really see the purpose for initial progression. If the Legends run was straight out the gate and you wanted to have a really fun and competitive experience there, then yeah, by all means, you can lock the camera, like, have this random, like, we don't know where we're going fiesta for the first week for the Legends run. But after that, it just becomes a case of always getting a map up. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't really see its function, and I don't really get this justification here. Solving the map as a riddle, you're gonna have a map from the community in a week. So yeah, yeah, not a huge fan of that at all. And also, there's going to be some stuff, so you're not completely in the dark whenever you're going to have portals in this as well, and whenever you hover over portal, it's going to give you like a clue as to what kind of nodes you'll be facing. So it's got some of the new ones like Vitality or Resistance, or it might have something called Power, hinting that you'll need like champions that can control power. But again, it's going to be the same thing after a week of doing this, that everybody's going to have a map with all the champions and all the nodes, and it really doesn't mean, you know, doesn't really affect it too much for everybody doing it outside of the first week. So yeah, or one of the interesting things as well is that each boss in every single chapter is going to have at least one unique buff specifically designed to enhance their existing abilities. These buffs have been created for these champions, especially in Act 5, and they're going to be 6-star champions. So yeah, really interested to see what those are. A little bit scared as well, a little bit nervous, but the nodes that they're adding in this chapter, they give me a little bit of hope, because all these nodes, they seem fairly manageable, and they've even given you kind of like, you know, tips and tricks to play around them already. Like, massive shout out to Kabam DK. Kabam DK, like, I met you at New York Comic Con. Like, I would say I'm going to be a little bit biased here, dude, but you're one of my favorite devs for sure, and you nailed this post, man. You nailed this post. Like, I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. So yeah, the first one is Vigor, which is every 15 seconds after the start of the fight, regenerate for 50% of base health over 5 seconds. The timer refreshes when this champion reaches intervals of 25% missing health. So essentially, this buff apparently means you either want to bring, I assume, heal block champions, or champions that deal a lot of damage and try to push them to intervals of 25% max health over every 30 seconds. But this contradicts here, because here you see it every 15 seconds, and here you see it every 30 seconds. So that's just saying, you know, you know, what's the truth on that one? So yeah, I'm a little bit curious, but regardless of which, I assume this is going to be fairly easy to bypass with heal lock champions, so not hugely concerned there. Resistor, when struck with an energy or physical attack, and this is going to be on the enemy, activate a corresponding resistance buff, increasing respective resistance by 20%. So yeah, essentially, if you keep on using physical attacks, you're going to build up high physical resistance. So I really assume for this, the strategy is use damage over time champions, but he does say, like, the more physical damage you do, the more physical resistance the opponent gets, so you want to bring champions who have a mix of both type of attacks. But I assume, like, damage over time effects are going to be more effective to bypass this, or characters of high crit, because crit seems to really bypass a lot of the damage negated by any sort of resistance. So yeah, just high crit champions or damage over time should do that. Now the next one is actually, this might be, theoretically speaking, because I need, you know, it's all in theory so far, but I really like this. I really like the sound of this note as kind of a fun challenge. So when blocking an attack, this will be active on your opponent. You activate an armor up buff, boosting armor by 25%, and when they reach 5 stacks of that, they explode and remove 25% of the opponent's health. So essentially, the strategy here is to not attack into opponents that are blocking. So yeah, I quite like that. That's kind of a theme in Labyrinth, but it seems a little bit less punishing, and you can play around it. And I'm not too sure, but I think you can probably nullify this as well. So, you know, maybe champions like Voodoo, Magic, and Scarlet Witch might be a good way to play around this, but we'll have to see. Feats of Power, I don't really get this one too much. It's essentially when the opponent is above 1 bar of power, they gain Fury. When above 2 bars of power, Precision. When above 3 bars of power, they gain Cruelty, and these stack and are quite strong. So I think it's all about either nullifying them, or it says about controlling the power here. So either like power control, nullify, or like don't get hit. I assume that's a strategy as well, because these are all damage increase buffs. So yeah, I don't imagine the strategy here is too much different from the usual don't get hit. So the next one, Rage. This one's a little bit interesting, actually. So damage taken in a single hit is capped at 2.5% of max health. When damage cap is reached, gain a Fury buff. Upon reaching 5 Fury buffs activated by Rage, attacks become unblockable. I assume that's all attacks. So essentially, you want to use avoid using burst champions here, and use ones that have like a lot of damage over time effects. Essentially, champions that don't have enough damage to, on a crit, deal over 2.5% of the opponent's maximum health. So yeah, this one doesn't seem too bad, or, you know, there are possibly certain ways that you can play around it. It's all attacks become unblockable, so you can fight like Cyclops Labyrinth, 90 Cyclops in Labyrinth of Legends. So yeah, I'm interested, man. And also the Furies can be nullified, so you can use that as well. Shouldn't be too bad to deal with. And the next one is Biohazard. When struck, 20% chance to inflict a bleed. And also, when blocking an attack, 50% chance to inflict poison. So this is just going to be like, bring Iceman, or Dormammu, or Vision, or Ultron. So yeah, that one doesn't seem too bad. And this is like an indication of how the power index is going to be. So Quest 1, we got 15 to 90k, and then 25k boss. There's not really anything like even when we scale up to Quest 6, that looks like it's going to be, like, insanely intimidating, unless the final boss is, like, absolutely crazy. But who is going to be the final boss, ladies and gentlemen? That is the question of the day. For, you know, who we're potentially going to see is that the final boss for Act 5, having such a difficult fight in 5.2, the Collector being the final boss of that. So yeah, I am very excited for this. I'm gonna, again, hit it straight out of the gate, have all the info, have all the live streams up as soon as possible, work with maybe some graphic designers in the community to get some maps up, so that after the first week, everybody can just do the thing where instead of, like, having to guess and piss in the dark, you can just bring up a map. So yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Let me know your comments about 5.4 in the comments below. Apart from that, thank you very much. Take care and have an absolutely fantastic day.